another one. Maybe The Cook by Fatty Arbuckle and Buster Keaton.
Yeah, that makes sense to talk about next. This one has a little bit more of a plot, but even then, it's still like there is a cook and hijinks happen.
Yeah, it's the same as most of these Fatty Arbuckle shorts have been, where it's the first half is like one gag, one set
Hmm.
piece where
Yeah,
they wring everything they can, and the second half is a barely related set piece that they wring everything they can out of.
yeah. This one is definitely pretty similar in that regard to the ones that we watched from 1917.
Hmm.
It's got more showing off more of Arbuckle's knife skills, which
Yeah.
he's very good at, like throwing knives up in the air and catching them, and like throwing them into wood blocks and chopping stuff up. So yeah, in this, Arbuckle plays the titular cook, and Buster Keaton plays a horny waiter.
Yes, and it does seem like they really are kind of finding a real rhythm as a duo with
Yeah,
this movie, or at least among the other ones that they've done. I think they work really well together in this.
yeah, they have a kind of their sort of personas, I guess, complement each other pretty well, and they're kind of differing energies.
Hmm.
Buster Keaton has such a sort of like dry, sort of he underplays things a lot,
Right. Yeah.
whereas Fatty Arbuckle's like throwing plates up in the air and catching him and like uh, you know
It's
stuff
not
like
even
that.
stunts. It's like juggling that he loves to
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's just sort of like feats of daring, just spectacle, I guess. There's also Luke the dog returns in this and does a lot of chasing and biting people.
And there's like a mean clown that's the through line between both of the halves of this short.
Right. Yeah. Who eats a bottle and cuts off a guy's mustache and makes him eat it. Um, there's a prolonged chase where the dog chases him up a ladder. There's a bunch of silly spaghetti eating, which feels like a. I don't think I've seen that in a silent comedy up till this point, but it feels like a classic silent comedy gag.
They get a lot of mileage out of different silly ways to eat spaghetti,
Yeah,
including
there is
like
a whole scene that is just eating spaghetti in different silly ways.
um, including like a proto Lady and the Tramp situation, but like across a long table, and then the spaghetti pulls so taut that it becomes a clothesline, and they hang the napkins on it. Good gag. Good gag.
I feel like the sort of structure of these kind of Arbuckle Keaton comedies is a lot of times they will just kind of cut to a joke happening as opposed to sort of coming up with a narrative reason for it to happen. They don't necessarily come out of plot or story or anything like that. It's just sort of like, and now some spaghetti, and now this. These sort of, I guess the first part is all in a restaurant and a kitchen, and the second part is kind of at the boardwalk. I tried really hard to find out which boardwalk this was by
Hmm.
looking at historical photographs from the 1910s of
Wow.
like different California boardwalks, and they all look so similar. I was trying to look like aerial photos and things like, oh, if that's this like Ferris wheel here on this side of the board, like, and I don't know, I think it's Santa Monica, but I can't be sure. There were so many
Huh.
boardwalks along like the California coast and like Los Angeles in particular that it's like nearly impossible to tell. But it did lead me down a whole rabbit hole of looking up 1918 boardwalk photos.